So today's Stalingrad game is going to be a bit of a disappointing one for myself. I really wanted to win this game. And you're going to see just how good the Stalingrad still is. The ship, when it came out, was easily one of the best ships in the game. And it still holds up pretty well. Even though there are some ships, like I showed earlier, like Petro, that are pretty insane, Stalingrad still has it where it counts. And that is the main guns of this ship. The dispersion is pretty good. It kind of trolls you at times, but it really is that punching power. You nearly have that battleship level of firepower, and you get a faster reload, and you get radar. The ship is really good at helping your team win flanks and win games. One of the weaknesses, I guess, of the Stalingrad is the AA, though. It is nowhere near as good as the Petro, in my opinion. And so you're going to just struggle against the aircraft carriers, as we are going to in this game. And in fact, that's going to be mainly what ends up doing most of the damage to me, I'm pretty sure. And that's too bad. And it's probably because I put myself in a bit of an aggressive position here. I went a little bit too far in. I pushed up too far. And, I mean, fair play. But the issue is, if you end up getting punished all the time for pushing up to some of these islands and pushing in, you end up saying to yourself, well, it's not really worth it to push in because I'm just going to die all the time. Where else am I going to play then? If I can't play on these islands, you're going to play at the back of the map and camp. And I think that is one of the main reasons we're seeing so many passive games these days. And hopefully Wargaming is working to correct that behind the scenes. This recent Pan-Asia line, I've said before, I'll say it again, is not going to help with the campy meta. It's only going to further the campy meta, but maybe there's something coming in the pipeline that we don't know about yet. That's my hope, because I missed this game when everybody decided to push in. It is really a good time. It is much more interesting and much more enjoyable, in my opinion. But back to this game, we already have 60k damage. I did skip the intro bits because it is a CV game. Everybody stayed at the back for a bit. So we're quite a ways into this game at the point. 13 minutes left, 13 and a half minutes left on the clock here. And we got an Alsace pushing in. Full health, and I'm going to try and set up a crossfire here. I figured that maybe with the Lion and Iowa and maybe the Montana, if he turns his turrets, I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe we could take this guy out, especially because we have a Midway on our team. And Midways do really well against some of these battleships when they're alone, especially. It is incredible the damage they can output. The dive bombers are insane. So I wanted to poke up and start shooting this guy a little bit. But one of the issues with Stalingrad is you're pretty bad against bow-on battleships. It's a bit of a struggle. You have not the fastest reload of a cruiser, that's for sure. And your HE DPM is really low. So you're left to either just stick with AP and hope for superstructure pens, or swap to the HE and pretty much give up the strengths of the Stalingrad, which is that improved pen angles on the AP, and that really massive damage. And here comes that first AP dive bomber strike. We're going to see a few more of these coming. But this is really the struggle of a Stalingrad, a Moskva, anything that, well, a lot of ships get citadeled by these bombers. It's really frustrating because you can't even heal it, right? If I could heal the damage back, I think I would be a little bit more okay with the way the bombers work. But as it stands, they just get to point and click on my ship, and I lose permanent HP. At least when torpedoes take permanent HP away from me, I know that there was something I could have done to maneuver myself differently or turn sooner, that kind of thing. Whereas here, I just get punished for playing too aggressive, so I'll play farther back. And that's sad because, like I said earlier, we're just going to end up with all these campy games. And that sucks, but that's what CVs do. They promote camping the spawn. I guess, to some people's point, they do prevent camping islands. But I would far rather see people camping islands and be closer and interested in the fight than camping in spawn. That's just my personal preference. Now we get into a brawl with an Alsace. This is rough. This is really rough. I don't actually want to ram him, but we do need to maintain an angle to at least prevent the Citadel. And an unfortunate side effect of the Stalingrad being so big and tanky reasonably, is that you have a really long turning radius. So yeah, we're flat broadside now to his rear turret, but there's that huge midway salvo with the dive bombers, and we actually get the finishing blow into his superstructure there with the third-person view. And we activate Kuznetsov, the most broken commander in the game. If you play any of these Russian ships at all and are wondering, Kuznetsov is just the best commander you could possibly get. Look at our heal right now. Yes, I'm using one of my normal heals as well, but we should have died here, given how much was shooting at us. Petro, Gearing, Marceau, Edinburgh, like, this should have been death. And yet somehow we survived that one, which is pretty insane, with a nice little blind shot to finish off the Eden. And now we're up to 134k, and we managed to somehow get our way out of that horrible situation where we were pushed up into that island. And now our team has collapsed quite a bit here. We've lost a ton of map control, and of course, being down on DDs is never a good thing in this game, especially if you have to try and push back in. So just missing the gearing. I was hoping that I could have caught him, but that's okay. Hopefully we'll get him later. And notice the torpedo bombers coming back in. This CV is 100% focused on killing me at this point. But I guess fair enough. You know, I am the low target, and I do have the radar. Yeah, I don't want to complain too much, but it is very frustrating to have CVs in this game. And the way that they play and the decisions that people make, it's annoying, and it really does get old after a little while. But we managed to dodge this set just barely, while going flat broadside to the entire enemy team. But that North Carolina is really far away, so he's going to have a tough time dealing with us. And there's an Iowa here to body block for these extra torpedoes here. Fortunately, the planes do get shot down before they release their drop, and the Iowa eats one gearing torpedo. And we survive, just like that. We are barely alive, assuming this NC doesn't get a miraculous shot into us. He aimed a little bit too high. So there we are. We're alive, barely. But we've pretty much used all of our healing, so we're not going to be able to tank very much at all. And we all know how ineffective the AA is going to be against the Hakuryu going forward, even though we already have 37 planes killed and 80,000 plane damage. 80,000 plane damage against a Hakuryu. That's insane. Normally that is an FDR game, but yeah, we've done a lot of damage and shot down a lot of planes, and there's still full squads coming. It's a rough time out there to play a Stalingrad. This ship is really, really, really good. I don't want to get that confused. If you're thinking of a steel ship, Stalingrad should definitely be on that list of ships that you probably want to get, or at least consider. But I'll be honest, playing this ship into CV games sucks. You are very, very easy to kill for the aircraft carrier. You're as big as a battleship, but you're less maneuverable. Yeah, you take even more than most battleships because of that AP bomb strike. And now we've officially used up all our healing and our radars. I was using my radar to see if that Mogador was YOLO rushing myself for that Iowa. That was really important, I felt like, at the time. And we're probably not going to even be able to make use of our radar anyways, even if we held it. So may as well pop it just to get that little bit of extra information. Maybe our Talon can do something, a little something with that. And seriously, a really, really good match out of the Stalingrad here. I was just playing this one to, again, get my super container from these little missions for the anniversary of the game. And this one turned out to be a really, really, really solid game. But unfortunately, not a win, as you can see. We're going down pretty far here, and there's really not a lot left to do. I think I did everything I possibly could this match to try and help our team win this one, but sometimes it's a little too heavy, and that's okay. As we kill the Petro, miraculously getting some citadels into his broadside. Petro well known for not really taking too many citadels, and a broadside Hindenburg. This is really the strength of the Stalingrad, are these broadsides. And here comes the last full squad of Hakuryu planes to come kill us and finish us off. So we end up with 223,000 damage, 2 kills, and a lot of awards. But unfortunately, not a victory. And that's too bad. I won't lie, I was pretty That's a little salty after this game for sure, with 50 planes shot down and full squad still coming to kill me. But that's the design of CVs, and I can't be too mad because it's what I signed up for when I clicked the battle button. So until Wargaming kind of gets their heads out of the sand and decides to actually fix this game, this is what we have to expect going into a match in a Stalingrad these days. So the build on the Stalingrad that I'm deciding to run these days is in fact an AA build. We did have an AA commander for this one, as well as extra healing, of course, and concealment. I think this is pretty standard out of a Stalingrad. We do have gun feeder. This is mainly to help with some of the other ships, the other cruisers I like to play Kuznetsov on. But I think this is a pretty solid build still. Maybe you would forego some of these things like survivability expert and go for heavy AP shells or something else, but this is what I'm using right now on a lot of my premium Russian cruisers. And then here are the upgrades. I think this is pretty standard, not too much to explain here. So that's the Stalingrad. A very, very good ship still in 2021, although not the apex predator of World of Warships, of which I think we demonstrated quite well what that is. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.